Hello, welcome to my student support system. Today we will discuss very important or special topic, that is immunity. Nowadays everyone discuss about to boost immunity to stay safe from corona. So what is that immunity? We will discuss today. This lecture is in English, and if you want to study in Hindi, just click on I button. You will get link of the Hindi lecture on immunity. Let us start. What is immunity? Immunity is the capacity of multicellular organisms like human being to resist harmful microorganisms from entering their cells or body. It is also known as host defense. The most important physiological function of immune system is to prevent or eradicate infection. The study of immunity is known as immunology. Classification of immunity. Basically, immunity is classified in two types. Okay, so we have two types of immunity. Number one, innate immunity, and number two, acquired immunity. What is innate immunity? Innate immunity, or also called as natural immunity or native immunity, is always present in healthy individual. Hence, the term is innate. It is prepared to block the entry of microorganisms and to rapidly eliminate microbes that do succeed in entry the host tissue. It is non-specific, means it acts against all the pathogens. The innate immunity system is specially made up of the barriers that aim to keep viruses, bacteria, parasites, and other foreign particles out of our body and limit their ability to spread and move in our body. The innate immune system is able to combat microorganisms immediately upon infection. The innate immune system includes the following components: physical defense, chemical defense, and cellular defense. We will discuss these points one by one. First is physical defense. Physical defense includes skin. The skin acts as physical barrier against the entry of microorganisms into our body. Mucous membrane is also a physical barrier, but it is less stronger than skin. But if there is cut, wound or skin infection, then this barrier may become weak and microbes can enter through these cut or wounds or infection into our body. It is the first line of defense and act as a strong fort against the invaders. That's why we normally advise the people who have cut or wound on the skin to avoid visiting the areas where there is chances of spread of infection is very high, especially like containment zone in corona cases. Or they should wear, if it is essential to go, they should wear PPE including gloves, especially if double layer if they have cut. Next is chemical defense. The chemical defense system includes antimicrobial peptides or cytokines produced by the skin. Apart from this, sebaceous glands, which are associated with hair follicles, they also produce large amount of fatty acids which create an acidic environment that is hostile to microorganisms. Acid produced by our stomach and lysozyme present in tears, saliva, also act as chemical defense as they are able to destroy pathogens. Third is cellular defense. There are many types of white blood cells or leukocytes that work to defend and protect the human body. The following cells are the leukocytes of our innate immune system. Number 1, phagocytes or phagocytic cells. Phagocyte means eating cell, which describe what role phagocytes play in the immune response. Phagocytes circulate through the body looking for potential threats like bacteria and viruses to engulf them, to eat them, and to destroy them. Next are macrophages. They are also in the blood. Macrophages can leave the circulatory system by moving across the walls of capillary vessels. This ability to roam outside the circulatory system is important for our immune system. Means these macrophages can go out of the blood vessel and act in the tissue where the bacteria or viruses are present. Then mast cells. Mast cells are found in the mucous membrane and connective tissue and are important for wound healing and defense against pathogens via inflammatory process. Neutrophils. Neutrophils are phagocytic cells that are also classified as granulocytes because they contain granules in their cytoplasm. These granules are very toxic to bacteria and fungus and cause them to stop proliferating or die when in contact. Eosinophils. Eosinophils are the granulocytes which target multicellular parasites. Eosinophils secrete a range of highly toxic proteins and free radicals that kill bacteria and parasites. Then basophils. Basophils are also granulocytes that attack multicellular parasite. Basophils release histamine much like mast cells. The natural killer cells or NK cells. They do not attack pathogen directly. Instead, the natural killer cell destroys the infected host cell in order to stop the spread of the infection. So dear students, this is the innate immunity normally for which we discuss that we should promote the immunity or we should make our immunity strong to fight with the diseases like in corona cases. So this innate immunity cannot be measured, but we can say that if our general health is okay, then our immunity will be high or at a good stage, and when we are sick or having already an infection, then slowly our this innate immunity decreases. So we advise the people who are having previously some infections, they should not go to the areas where infections are more because their immunity is less and they can get the infection. But again, one thing I want to say that if a person is feeling healthy, it is not necessary that his immunity level is very high and he can go to the containment zones because again there is no specific instrument to measure the level of immunity. So take care. Second type of immunity is acquired immunity. Acquired means we develop or we receive later on. It is not by birth. Acquired immunity is acquired in the lifetime of the person by means of antigen antibody response. It is also called specific immunity because it is against a particular specific antigen or disease. Antigen, what is antigen? Antigen is a specific protein of microbes, of bacteria, virus or any pathogen And antibody is also a protein which is against that particular antigen produced by our defense system. Here you can see what is antibody and antigen response. See, these are our cells. When an antigen, virus or bacteria enters, there are receptors on our cells. They attaches to them, and then these white blood cells, they recognize or they identify the antigen and proliferate, multiply with their antibodies, and they release these antibodies in the plasma, and these antibody neutralizes the antigen. Acquired immunity again is classified in two groups: active immunity and passive immunity. So what is active immunity and passive immunity, we will discuss one by one. Active immunity. This type of immunity is acquired actively by our immune system after exposure to pathogenic antigen naturally by means of having infection and producing antibody against the particular antigen. For example, when we are getting an infection, say of corona, then that body starts to produce antibodies, and when he recovers, then a lot of antibodies will be there in the plasma of that patient, and it can be generated artificially by giving vaccines, and this is specific for particular disease, and we can say that we are waiting for vaccine for corona, but still we have a lot of vaccines like measles, tuberculosis and lot of diseases. Our vaccination system depends on this type of immunity. The active immunity is further classified into two types: humoral immunity and cell-mediated immunity. Humoral immunity is produced by B lymphocytes. B lymphocyte is a cell in the blood. These lymphocytes are produced by bone marrow, which manufacture different specific antibodies, and these antibodies are immunoglobulins, proteinous in nature, and known as IgM, IgG, IgA, IgD, and IgE. Cell-mediated immunity is produced by T lymphocytes. Okay, and these T lymphocytes are produced by thymus gland. T lymphocytes do not produce antibody, but they are responsible for recognition of antigen and produce a chain of immune response after contact with specific antigen. Here you can see that this is bone marrow, okay, and these are lymphoid precursors. Two types of lymphatic cells are produced: B lymphocyte and T lymphocyte. B in bone marrow and T in thymus. Then they enter in the lymph, from lymph to blood, both. Okay, and here there is antigen antibody reaction, and here there is recognition of antigen by the T cells. Okay, so and this active immunity is produced, and there are certain organs where these lymphocytes normally stay and wait for antigens to combat them. These peripheral organs are lymph nodes, spleen, mucosal and cutaneous lymphoid tissues. Okay, so this is cell mediated immunity. What is passive immunity? In passive immunity, an individual receives antibody from another individual who is already immune to the infection. Passive immunity therefore is useful for rapidly getting immunity even before the individual is able to mount an active response, but it does not induce long-lived or long-lasting resistance to the infection. For example of passive immunity is seen in newborns where immune system of the newborn is not mature enough to respond to many pathogens, but who are protected against infection by acquiring antibodies from their mothers through placenta and breast milk. This is known as natural passive immunity. Clinically, passive immunity is limited to the treatment of some immunodeficiency diseases with antibodies pooled from the multiple donors and for emergency treatment of some viral infections, snake bites by using anti-serum where the antibodies are produced artificially in the animals or in human being. This is known as artificial passive immunity. Plasma therapy that is discussed in corona cases is based on this type of immunity. So we can understand now that when antibodies produced in our body and transferred to another body to help fight against infection is known as passive immunity. In other words, we can say that this is a ready-made immunity. There is a term herd immunity. What is that? Herd immunity occurs when a large proportion of the community become immune to the disease naturally by getting infected or and recovered later and artificially by getting vaccines, making the spread of disease from person to person unlikely. As a result, the whole community become protected. Herd immunity is defined as the resistance to spread of infectious disease within a population when sufficiently high proportion of the individuals are immune to the disease. Thank you. You can visit my channel, My Student Support System, for further lectures, and you can like my Facebook page so that you can get latest update about lectures. For making your notes, you can visit my blogger, mynursingstudents.blogspot.com. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and you can join Facebook group. Thank you. Have a nice day.